Well, finally, Tennessee is a gold mine for Civil War history buffs with battlefields all over the state. But you know, there are many interesting stories beyond those battlefields. Rob Wiles recently found a place near Chattanooga where you can get a fascinating lesson in history and a good dinner at the same time.
Up here on Lookout Mountain, one of the pivotal battles of the Civil War was fought. Of course, lives were changed by the battle, and ways of life changed by the war itself in ways we can't even imagine today. All that's gone, of course, but it's resurrected once in a while in a restored church just north of here.
Hey there, come on in.
That fella who's dressed like a Union soldier from around 1863 is Steve Gibson. And this is where a bit of 1863 comes back to life at the Button Willow Church Civil War Dinner Theater in Whitwell.
After spending nearly 15 years on the road with this two-person play, we located in the little Sequatchie Valley in Marion County, Tennessee, found an old Methodist church that had been abandoned, and we then converted it to a 19th century performance hall.
What about the hollyhocks?
The idea is to take people back into 1864 when they walk in the door, with a combination of the food that we serve and the play that we present.
Robin will get your seats whenever you're ready.
Steve and wife Allison put on a two-person show here, set in a time they both love, the 19th century.
We can't explain it to you. We can't explain why we go out and reenact and stand in the mud and the rain and the heat, or stand in a foot of snow, you know, firing cannons at our friends. It's in the heart. Can't explain it.
The heart and the stomach are taken care of here. It is a dinner theater after all, and Allison says recipes are similar to ones that would have been served at the Confederate White House by First Lady Varina Davis.
These recipes are very, very simple because things that they didn't grow, they pretty much didn't have. So these were things that they could go out and grow in the garden, like the blackberry cobbler. Blackberries were pretty much available in the woods, and they're very simple recipes with things that are readily available and good, easy to cook.
Okay, let me do this. Let me go out the front here.
With the dinner dishes cleared, looks around the gift shop completed, and visits to the men's room where Yankee generals are honored, completed as well, everybody gets in the mood for the show. Now, this is not a dry history lesson here, although a history lesson is what it is, wrapped around a story of a brother and sister who find each other on a Civil War battlefield.
Is it all right to come out?
I'm dang, is that a woman?
No, it ain't a woman, it's your sister.
He, a Union soldier, she, a Confederate sympathizer, and, as played by Allison, definitely no shrinking violet.
I said personal business, it ain't none of your business.
During this time period, if men went off to war, they could be gone for 3 or 4 years, and you don't know where they are, and you don't know if they're coming back. But you wanted them to have a home to come back to if they made it back, and that was all up to you. So you learned how to, you know, take care of a hog and render the fat and whatever you needed to do on your own. And some people had help. Most people didn't have the help.
As the show goes on, we learn about all kinds of things, each wrapped in a bit of humor.
Well, after they added the 13th star, they changed it to an orange bunting.
Yep, Tennessee coach come up with that one.
He did not.
Sure he did.
He did not. It's this kind of stupid remark. This is where bad history comes from. People like you making just off-the-cuff remark. And you know, somebody in this audience is going to hear you say that and then make that remark somewhere going down the road, and somebody's going to listen and they're going to write it down in a book, and then it'll end up in a textbook and we'll never get it out.
That's right, because if it's writ, it's right.
Well, not necessarily, which is why Steve did his own research for the play.
Everything we do in those 2 hours on stage, even the silly stuff, is all based on first-hand accounts. My research goes back to source material. I read the words, the memoirs, the military reports. That's where you get it. But even understanding that, any historian worth his salt understands that just because you read it as a first source material doesn't make it true. But if you crisscross it a few times and cross-reference it, somewhere down the line you're going to have a grain of truth, and that's, as a historian, that's what I'm after, is to find out what happened.
And that may take some translation for us 21st century folks.
In our time period, a man wasn't supposed to know that a woman had hips, much less mention them in public.
No, sir, those are the nether portions.
And you better be a doctor before you start saying nether portions in front of a woman. We couldn't even say the word leg in front of a woman.
No, those are the lower limbs, these are the upper limbs.
And so what if somebody in the future wanted the leg of the chicken? What are they going to ask for?
The drumstick.
Yeah, and that's because that's what we started doing that because we couldn't say the body parts of a chicken. What if we wanted the breast of the chicken?
Can't say that word.
What?
It's the white meat.
White meat, that's right. But you know, the word bosom was okay in our time period. They could, they bosomed all over the place at our time. We could bosom here and bosom there, wherever you want to bosom.
I can't see you going down to Chick-fil-A and ordering a chicken bosom sandwich with pickles.
I'll do it.
It's worth doing. I mean, reliving a bit of a long past era and learning some true history in the bargain at the Buttonwillow Church Civil War Dinner Theater in Whitwell.